Hey everybody, it's John. It is Live Fire Monday, sponsored by the Mantis. We're here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale. And today I noticed something at the Rangemaster Advanced Handgun Instructor class a couple weeks ago that I need a little bit of help working with my primary hand on the gun only, so single-handed on the gun, as well as support hand only. So we're going to use the new Mantis X X3 here. It's just, same unit, same information that you get out of the X unit, but smaller form factor, can put it on a magazine or on the unit. Get some strong hand only and some support hand only feedback to help you and help me get better with this form of shooting. Whether in dry fire or in live fire, the Mantis X firearms training system really helps you to get better every day with your defensive shooting. I use mine all the time. So why might you need to do primary hand only? Well, you might have an injured hand. You might have a baby in that arm. You might be carrying something that you forgot in the moment to get out of your hand. You may be shielding a loved one. There's plenty of reasons why your hand might not get on the gun. Now, of course, we want to get as many hands on the gun as we can. So that's a whole nother separate issue. But right now we're just going to work on that strong hand only and working on some techniques. So we're going to put the Mantis X. One of the things I like about the X3 is that it slides right on. I don't need any tools or anything like that. I don't got to worry about the screw anymore. Useful unit. Pretty cool with that. So we're going to start primary hand only here. And again, going live fire. And we're just running at some B8 targets here. Okay? So let's kind of think about what we're doing on this guy. Now, here's what I really want to show. What I really want to see here is don't even care so much about everything else that's going on with it. You can see the muzzle there. What I really want to see is what my muzzle rise is doing. So there's a couple ways that we can do this strong hand only. What I'm trying to do is put pressure front to back, but because I don't have my support hand on the gun, I don't have any place that's putting pressure on that support side, which me as a left-hander means the right side of the gun. So I have to use this thumb and these fingers to get some support side pressure. So I am going to get a little pressure here and also use a thumb. Now there's two techniques here. So you see some people that go thumb high and some people that go thumb forward. Some folks press their thumb towards the target. That's an acceptable way to do it. Some people press the thumb high and up on the side of the frame. That's an acceptable way to do it. Some folks cant the gun in a little bit, feel like it gives them good stuff. Other folks keep the gun here straight up and down and just basically whatever they were doing is off, right? Some folks like to step forward with their dominant leg when they go that way, with that same side as their dominant hand. Some folks like to stay where they were. Which one's right? The only way to figure that out is to do some practice and to work on it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to see what this guy's going to give me on my muzzle rise, see what my tracking of my dot is doing. So let's work a little bit. I'm just going to start here, muzzle in, that's great. Now I'm going to drop this hand off and get it. Pinky pressure, feel the pressure on that gun. That's a good shot. Okay, I feel pretty good. Now notice that the muzzle rose off and to the right. That's typical, but I want to see if it comes back for me. Okay, those are three pretty good shots. Let's kind of figure out here. I'm going to pop that guy off so I can put him back in here. Another great advantage of the Mantis X3 is I can pop it off carefully and safely. Don't put the muzzle of the gun in front of your hand and then holster the gun. Okay, so I just want to see what these shots look like. Let's stop, and I just want to see. Okay, so you can see here, I'm going up and to the right like you'd expect, up and to the right less there like you'd expect on that third one. So I'm rising up and to the right. Let's see kind of where my shot numbers are. Looking at each one, I mean, again, less muzzle, stillness, and it was moving. But if we come down and we start looking at the target, what we start to see is in those 4 shots, I got 4 10 hits, which is exactly what I want. Now, let's see how that kind of does for me as I change my body mechanics and where I am. So now what I'm going to do is that I was here in my normal kind of stance and position and just press the gun out there. Taking this support hand, putting it close and gripping it nice and tight because of that inner limb function. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is instead of staying in my normal place, I'm going to put my strong foot out and see if I can see any difference in the way that my muzzle works. See, I had to wait because I was going to flinch really hard. Okay, so you notice I got much better shots on that one. The question is what is my muzzle doing here when the gun goes off? So here's what I'm seeing. Oh, let's take that off. We got to take that off again. Let's see if what my dot says is the same thing that I'm seeing from this other one. Okay, so again, up and right, but I'm staying kind of okay in that 150 milliseconds before, so that's the yellow, right? So the yellow is right before the shot breaks, that one, again, we're doing about the same. But one of the things that I'm noticing between shots is that when I set my strong side foot out, I tend to get my dot back better. And if you notice here, we're only at about 4 yards, and I'm still getting 10 hits and getting X hits, and that's exactly what I want to see. So let's try a different technique, see what it does for us. So now we're going to do this same thing, but I'm going to cant the gun in a little bit, and I'm going to go, okay, so there's a cant to the gun. What's that do to my muzzle rise and return? Okay, there was 3. Those are 3 good shots. Okay, I'm going to get a couple more from this perspective and see what it does. Okay, so I'm seeing it pretty good there. So that was 6 shots. Let's kind of see what we get out of this. See if I got a change in the way that my muzzle rose here. So interestingly, I think one of the things that you see is that it's actually moving in a more upright direction. So that one's off to the right a good bit, still off to the right. But what I am noticing is that I'm catching my muzzle back occasionally off the window. So when I'm straight up and down like this, it seems to me that I do a little bit better in terms of bringing the muzzle back. I'm still okay. I mean, you go look at my target, and I'm not mad about that at all, right? So again, let's change something, see what we get. Okay, so now I'm going to really focus on pinky pressure and pressure with the left thumb, pressure with the strong side thumb. So I flag my thumb a little high on the strong hand only, and that tends to work better for me. Let's see if that helps me if I make any changes here. I just want that dot to come back. Yeah, that's exactly what I want right there. So what I'm starting to see is that for me, boy, that starts to really feel like what I want it to feel like. Okay, I got a couple left in there. But let's holster up and we can kind of see what we got here. Careful holstering at all times. Okay, so let's go back here and we can see, aha, I think what we're starting to see with John is that my best shots are coming when I get a lot of pressure with this particular, with my strong side thumb. I get good pinky pressure and the gun's up and down with my strong side foot forward. Now, what does that mean for you? It means you have to go to the range and try this. So let's change over and do some support hand, see how that does for us. Okay, so this wants a 10-shot string of support hand only. Okay, so let's just get 10 shots and feel good with the same technique. Grip in. So interestingly enough, that was a straight up and down press. Notice the straight up and down. That one pushing over to the other side. So interestingly, again, support hand only, it goes in the direction of unsupport is where it tends to go. See the same thing there. That shot was not nearly as good, which you see in the shot score as well. Pressing left as the shot broke there. That's interesting, but there's a good up and down. You see me starting to really get a good straight up and down press there on several of them. So guess what? That last one I'm really happy with. So let's kind of take a look here and what we see as we've got kind of the averages here. We really are okay. It's in the 70s, but I'm doing live fire and I'm going pretty quick. See what that looks like at the end of the day. So these were my support hand shots. Am I comfortable and happy with those? Yeah, heck yeah, I'm comfortable and happy with them. But what I'm really looking for the Mantis X to give me here is to give me data on what my muzzle's doing once the shot breaks, which I can see through my sights or through my dot, but it gives me another way to do that. So what does that mean for you this week? Get out to the range, get some strong hand only, get some support hand only. See what that muzzle rise is doing. Use something like the Mantis if you've got it, so then that way you can track what your recoil management is doing. Hope it helps you.